go. Problems. Huge hit for Kennedy. The 11 up on the safer barrier. Down off the wall it comes to a grinding halt in the middle of the racetrack.
I'm okay. It's a hard hit.
That's great news. That's the voice of Ben Kennedy.
Hit right there.
You heard him say it was a hard hit, and yes, it was. Wow, what an impact. He was running in 7th. We had talked about how he'd been outside of the top 10 the last couple of weeks, pushing hard here tonight.
Yeah, it looked like there's some contact when they get down to the entrance to turn number 1. I looked up and I saw a truck sideways.
That's absolutely the fastest part of this mile-and-a-half super speedway here in Kentucky as you dive off into turn 1. We saw heavy contact for Spencer Gallagher when he made contact with another truck, and now Kennedy up on the wall and into the fence.
Gathering himself before he climbs out.
It was great to hear his voice on the radio, and I'm sure all his crew members were glad to hear that as well. Waves to the crowd. I'm sure he's going to walk around this truck and cannot believe the damage to that Local Motors Toyota.
Yeah, he's gathered himself up a little bit, too. That was a wild ride.
Tough, hard impact.
Really hard impact. Here it is.
See, he's racing on the inside of David Gillen. They make a little bit of contact. You see John West Townley was on the outside. He's going to run right into the side of him and kind of lift that truck up a little bit. Got into the catch fence. For the second week in a row, we've had a vehicle in the catch fence. But again, the catch fence did its job. It kept that truck down on the racetrack, and you see it riding along the top of the safer barrier.
When they got to turn 1, Phil, I think they were 3 wide, and Ben probably thought that's a difficult angle for the spotters to see as well. And I think that Ben probably thought, wow, look how close that truck comes to going over. Probably thought they were just too wide, and he had room to move up a little bit for the corner.
That's what it looked like.
That was incredible how that truck just grinding along that safer barrier.
That's a battery sliding up in the top lane of the racetrack. Let's take a look at it again.
You can see that it was Gillen,
John West Townley in the yellow
West,
truck.
and I think John Gillen was just below John West, and maybe Ben Kennedy felt like they were just too wide and had room to angle himself for the corner, battling for a spot well inside of the top 10.
Man, look at that shot.
Right past one of our camera positions.
Look at all that debris.
But as you pointed out, Phil, that catch fence doing exactly what it's supposed to do as the axle's just grinding along that safer barrier on the wall.
Wow.
Look at ripping the nose off.
We saw
Here
it.
goes that battery.
Yeah, there's a battery out of the truck. It's right in front of the left rear tires where that battery is encased. You can see steam coming out of the lower radiator hose. The radiator's already gone off that truck.
And that wheel, Michael, just turned to the left on that left front just enough to catch it and pull it back down as opposed to rolling over. Watch this from the 25.
Cody Coughlin's going to see what happens, slow down, and look at all the debris he's got to avoid.
Pretty heads-up move by Cody. Immediately when we saw the smoke up in front, he was off the throttle.